Here is an email that I received recently. It's a cold email. Let's break it down. Let's see what they are doing well, what we can learn from them, and what could be done better in this situation. My name is Andre. I help tech startups to set up and run outbound sales. Please like and subscribe. And if you want help with your own cold emails, reach out to me on LinkedIn. So let's look at the criteria here that I use for analyzing these emails. Targeting, sentence one, clarity, offer, and follow-ups. First criteria is targeting. Targeting is who we are reaching out to. The number one rule of outbound prospecting is that if we're reaching out to the right people that we can help, that resonate with our offer, our reply rate will be high. But if we're reaching out to people who just cannot take our advantage of our offer in principle, then our reply rate will be low. And the broader the spread, the more we kind of pray and spray, the lower reply rate, the more focused and targeted we are, the higher reply rate. So let's look at this email here. So first of all, what it's about. So first sentence, I look at B2B Cold Connect and realize instantly I needed to get in touch, have no clue what it's about, giving you experience and expertise. You might have a sizable email list, right? So this is for people who have sizable email lists, and they're offering a system that help increasing emails as a share of revenue. If we look up this company, brianzhao.com, and if we actually look it up by just putting this domain name here, we actually come to Plethora. It actually does sign here as Plethora. And what it says here, it's an email marketing for e-commerce brands, right? So this email is designed for e-commerce brands. And here, if we want to tick off the box, first one box of targeting, are they targeting the right people? I am so totally, clearly not an e-commerce brand. So there is no way I can take advantage of this offer because I'm not an e-commerce brand. And even here they say, hey, do you have a sizable email list somewhere here? So, and also they're saying, hey, we want to increase your revenue to $1.5 million per month. I'm one person operation. Look, I can aim for $15,000 a month, maybe more, maybe double that. But as a one-person operation, reaching to $1.5 million per month, like, look, this is just way out of blue, way out of whack. So if we look at this criteria targeting, they clearly sending this email to the wrong person. Now, let's look at the second criteria is sentence one. Sentence one is what makes people open and read email. When you have lots of emails coming up in your mailbox and you quickly screening whether to read them or not, whether to open them or not, that preview that you have in your mail browser is actually, that's what makes you decide whether you want to open that email or not. So let's look at this email, and I have here, it's actually here a mobile version that I took a screenshot. So first sentence, I took a look at B2B Cold Connect and realized instantly that I need to try to get in touch. So this is actually a preview that I would see. Let's see if I can actually bring it up in the thing. Where is this Brian guy? Hi, Andre, I look at B2B Cold Connect and realized instantly has nothing to do. I cannot see that this is relevant from the first sentence. So first sentence is not relevant to me. And I think even second sentence, given your experience and expertise, I think you might have a sizable email list. I think he's getting to it in the second email, but first sentence is not according to the criteria. The amount of people opening this email based on this first sentence will be extremely low. So they are getting a second strike. Let's put in here. Sentence one is not working. Third criteria is clarity, how easy it is to get what they want. And if I'm looking here on the big screen, it's actually quite well split, so it's easy to read probably. On the small screen, this is a screenshot, it's also more or less reasonably written. We can go from one sentence to the next, but there is lots of extra words here. So trying to get to what it's about, it's a little bit hard. But we can actually say, hey, we can actually get to, hey, I think you might have a sizable email list, okay. and they have a system that could help increase emails as a share of revenue. Okay, so that's the clarity. Now they're giving an example and they're asking for a meeting. So in terms of clarity, could do definitely better. But overall, if we don't want to be too picky, we can say that they get a positive tick for having clarity. Next criteria is offer. Is this the kind of offer that looks reasonable, and can we take advantage of this offer? Or if the person is a good fit, can they take advantage of the offer? Can they understand what that offer is about? Perfectionists want to put this tick mark perfectly here, like this. So what's the offer here? The offer is they have a system that help increasing emails as a share of revenue for people who have email lists. And they're given an example. So I would want to have a little bit more details about the system, but if we click on the link, or if I had a link to Plethora here, I would click on it and the website looks reasonable. So like overall, the offer is clear. And if we chase the website, we'll look at it, that looks like a legitimate offer. So the offer is legitimate. We can take advantage of it if we are the person, the good fit. So let's just give them a good tick for the offer. And the final criteria for me to decide how well the cold outbound prospecting email campaign is run is the follow-ups. So what happens with cold emails? We send email 1, then we send email 2, email 3, and 90% of the time, I've seen the number of replies to emails 2 and 3 about like 5 times higher than number of replies to email 1. There are super rare instances where like people get more replies to email 1 than to email 2, but they still get replies to email 2. And like typical breakdown that I've seen with my clients who run outbound cold email campaigns is that like out of 30 emails we send, we have very targeted, well-researched lists. We send 30 emails, we get 2 replies to email 1, 4 replies to email 2, and 2 replies to email 3. So out of 8, 6 of them comes from the follow-ups, not from email 1. And realistically, if you only send in 1 email without follow-ups, you're missing on 80% of the replies. So, and this email was sent 11 days ago and there was no follow-up. So these guys, if they were contacting people that were a good fit, they would be missing on 80% of the replies. So getting a strike down for follow-ups. Now, how can we make this better? Overall, this email is reasonably well written. It's reasonably clear. What I would love to change here is this first sentence, so people can actually read it and open it. And yeah, so here is an example. So subject, we'll go to the subject later, but sentence 1 would be like, "Hi, Andre. Do you use cold email lists to communicate with your customer base?" All right, super easy. And what it's gonna do, so something like this, we can actually even go straight to their second sentence, would be opposed to, and then we can go straight to the offer. So when we have a, or, "Hi, Andre, I noticed that you're running a business. Hi, Andre, I believe you might have a sizable email list." We can even use that. Do you have a sizable email list that you're already running? So that's another thing. And what it's going to do, it's going to instantly qualify those people that have cold email lists. And those that have cold email lists, they will like, "Okay, yeah, I do. This is for me." Those that don't, they just wouldn't read or say no. And but this is a super easy, straightforward qualification that makes a person who has an email list open that email and read it. Then we can proceed with an offer. We have a system that could help you increase emails as a share of revenue. And they're actually doing it quite well. So, but we can still put it here. Or we have built a system that can increase cold emails as or emails as a share of revenue. So that's the second sentence, and you see like how they're doing really well with copywriting, but it can be done so much shorter, so much clearer. This example here, it's a good example, but I would put it in my email or skip it. I probably would increase or decrease the amount based on the people I'm reaching out to. So if I'm reaching out to solo entrepreneurs, like 1.5 million a month is too much for a solo entrepreneur. In my opinion, like say 150,000 a month, that's like the maximum aspiration for one person thinking of them growing their business. So that would be kind of an expansion of what about us thing. And then call to action. Here the call to action is a little bit weird because you don't, right now, it used to be the time when you added Calendly link in your very first email. That time is gone. Right now, it's like, hey, are you interested? Or here, would you be interested to talk about? Super easy call to action. Would you be interested to learn more? Or I would love to show more. That is my entire rewrite. This is how I would want it. And the subject line, Andre might help. This is probably 50% there, but I would still say like something, because like I used to work in an office, and there was this super easy back and forth of office communication between colleagues. So I would put a subject line that's similar to that inter-office communication. So like emails. Super easy, because this is how colleagues communicate in the office. They don't think tons and tons about fancy subject lines. No one ever uses the first name in the subject line when they are communicating between colleagues in the office. So that is my rewrite of this entire email. Obviously, this would be a draft, and then you would think how to put these sentences together and make this a little bit nicer. And also, like here, just a tiny tweak as well, I would put a link to Plethora website so people can click on it and see what the company is about. Exceptionally, since they have such an amazing website, I would definitely include a link. But obviously, they have a link to Calendly, so they didn't want to have two links in one email, so they stuck to one. So that would be email 1. And email 2 can be as simple, hey, Andre, I'm still curious. What do you think about this? That's enough. And just that simple email 2, that simple follow-up email 2 would give them extra 80% replies. So they would get, like, say, 2 replies to email 1, but extra 6 replies to this email 2 if they only add an extra email. Hey, any thoughts? Or hey, Andre, what do you think about using this system? Super easy. Such email follow-ups, they're extremely effective. All they do is just they show a bit of persistence, they show that you believe in your product, and they bump up your email in that mailbox. You can have a more elaborate follow-ups offering different aspects of your product, telling them, like right now I use Loom follow-ups, but that's a topic for another conversation. But if you just add any follow-ups, like 1 or 2 follow-ups, you're going to get way more results from your cold emails.